friends, it's Carrie from Stamp with CT. Thanks so much for being here for our Friday Finding Inspiration video. Today is May the 13th already, and we are finding inspiration during the month of May 2022 to help us decorate the inside of our cards, to help bring the outside to the inside of our cards, and then also decorating our envelopes. We have a policy in my crafting group, and that is no naked envelopes. So let me kind of explain how this works, what I've been doing this month. On Wednesdays, I have a Facebook Live at 10 a.m. and I usually create a couple of projects. So this past Wednesday, I had this sample of a super quick and cute layout featuring the limited edition stamp set and Design a Daydream designer series paper. So super simple card. And then we created two on the Facebook Live. So just showing how fun this layout can be using the different papers. We also use some embossing folders. But what I didn't do on the Facebook Live is finish off the card. So this is a Daffodil Delight card base. You could very easily write on the inside of this card, no problem. People could read the message. But I really feel like it just finishes off the card to have that inside panel, even if you just put a piece of basic white cardstock. So I really like to finish off my cards. But it takes it to the next level when we actually decorate that panel. So let me move some things out of the way so we can start working on this. So I do like to keep just a big stack of pieces of white cardstock that are cut at 5 1/4 by 4 inches. They just layer so nicely right inside, and that allows you to write your message. Now, in the past, I've not been really good about decorating the inside of my cards because I write big and I need a lot of room to be able to write my message. But as I receive cards that have the inside decorated in the envelope, I've come to realize how important that can be and how it just really adds even more of a special touch to your projects. So that's why we're working on this month. So let me bring in some supplies for this first card. I have some things prepped. And we'll set the things for the envelope aside, and we will just work on the card base first. So I have some strips of the designer series paper. This week we're using designer series paper in different ways to decorate the inside of our cards and our envelopes. So I had this strip left over. It would very easily be able to be adhered like to the bottom or to the top of this piece of cardstock, but I actually think I'd like to put it over here on the side. So what I'm gonna do, again, quick and easy, and we all end up with those strips of designer series paper and even cardstock that we want to use up. We don't want to throw away this pretty paper. So it just really gives us an opportunity to utilize every little bit of our papers. So I'm just adhering this down. I'm gonna grab my snips and come in because as you can see, it's just a tiny bit longer than my cardstock. So we'll just come in and snip that right off. Okay. And we are ready to add this to the inside panel, or add this inside panel to the inside of the card. So that's how quickly you can just dress up this card a little bit more, make it even more special. And even cards that you purchase a lot of times have the very light image printed on the inside. A lot of times there's something along with the sentiment on the inside. Okay, so that's all we're going to do on the inside of this one. For the outside, I had this little piece of designer series paper, and I wanted to maybe put it on the front of the envelope, but it's a little bit smaller than the envelope. So I went ahead and cut a piece, just a scrap, of the Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and I'm going to glue this little strip of designer series paper to the cardstock. Might need a tiny bit more glue. And I'm just going to justify it over to the side, but I want a little border on the top and bottom and on that other side. So we'll give that a second to dry. And then I thought I can put this over on the side of the envelope, either this way where the designer series paper, oops, what did I do? There. Either this way where my designer series paper is over against the edge, or I could do it this way. Either way works, but I really think I like it like that. So we will just adhere this on. And if you use our Stamp and Seal Plus or liquid glue, I think that's going to be fine to run through the postage machines. You do want to make sure that whatever you put on the outside of your envelope is adhered down really well. And by putting that over on the side, I still have room to very small print, write my return address, or I can actually put it on the back flap or put my sticker. Okay, so that makes us a really cute coordinated card and envelope with the inside decorated. Just love that stripe. It makes me so happy. Okay, let's work on the next one. Let me see here. I already, again, have some supplies ready. And I've even got a very small little strip of designer series paper, just a couple little scraps that I have left over after creating. Now, I thought for this card, it's just a little softer look. To me, that one's a little bit more fun and playful. This is just a little more softer look, just with the colors that I went with. But we've got the Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and you can't really write your message on there. It wouldn't be seen. So what if we take designer series paper and we cut it at 5 1/4 by 4 inches and we adhere that to the inside? But before we do that, I have a couple options here. We could actually even put a strip of that striped designer series paper down the side. Again, we could add it to the top. We could add it to the bottom. But what I really liked was taking this skinny little strip and putting it at the bottom. So that's what I chose to do this time. And we actually have two different options of pink. This is more of a stripe. This has a floral image and it's just very light. And again, I'm going to be able to write my message no problem. But I thought that would be really fun to use the designer series paper as my inside panel. I think I kind of went a little bit too high with my glue, but it's going to work out. So that little strip of paper, it makes me happy that I get to use it up, but it also brings just a little something, a little bit of fun and playfulness to the inside. So let's add this panel. And that will really finish off this card. I like that. Super cute. Then for the envelope for this one, I had this piece. It's about 6 inches and I think by about 2 3/4, 2 3/4 wide. So I had this piece left after cutting down this designer series paper. And one of the ways we can always decorate our envelope is to adhere some designer series paper to the flap. So let's go ahead and do that. I want to go fairly lightly with my glue. You know, liquid glue is a great adhesive. So we definitely want to make sure we have enough that it adheres it down, but I don't want to go overboard on this envelope. And I'm just going to pop that paper right on top there and line it up with the flap. Let me work on that just a little bit because I went a little bit too high. Come on now. Cooperate with me. Yeah, I went just a little bit too high. Let's try that again. We'll go at it from a different angle, and I think that's going to work better. Now that I have some glue on my fingers, so let me have that dry for just a second. Now this may very well be a technique or an idea that you have seen before, but I know that I always have new crafters and new people following my channel. And so I like to, even though this is something I've done before, and I know a lot of you have, I still like to show these ideas. Sometimes we have seen something in the past and we even forget about it, those of us that have been crafting for a long time. So you're just going to come in with your paper snips. Not great at this, but we're going to trim off the excess. I may have cut in just a tiny bit. It's going to be okay. You get the idea here. And we're just going to go around that flap, cut that excess off. And it just gives us the cutest effect. Get those scraps out of the way for this card. So now we've got a matching envelope, decorated inside. Again, what a great way to really show off the paper. And I can tell you, when you go out to the mailbox and you find a card, an envelope with the flap decorated like that, you instantly know this is going to be amazing when you open it. Okay, we'll move that one out of the way now, and we'll do this last one. So this, again, a little bit softer. This is a mint macaron card base. And I've got some ideas for this one. Again, strips of paper. And this time, I thought I would bring in a little bit smaller piece to go on the inside. So I cut this at 5 inches, or I thought I did. Oh, there it is. I do my inside panel for that one. Yes. I think I must have just had an extra piece of paper. So this piece of cardstock is 5 inches by 3 3/4. So why would you want to cut it down like that? Some people struggle with what to write on the inside of a card. So I say, hey, bring down that real estate a little bit. It leaves you less room to write. Now, my handwriting is big and I like to have a lot of space, but if you don't, cut that down, and then by decorating the inside, that takes up even more space. And so you're just able to say, let's say this was a congratulations card. You're able to say, great job, love the Todds. So quick and simple, and you've still sent an amazing card. So here, I had, again, some little strips of designer series paper, and thought, how can I use these to decorate? And this time I may very well come to the bottom, and I don't know. I like this one. Again, I've got another skinny little strip, so I thought about doing that as well. Maybe bringing that to the bottom. I don't know. Maybe we'll just go with this. So let me put a little bit of liquid glue again. Just a little strip. And I think I want to go, so hard to decide when you've got 2 sides of paper. That's super cute. I'll leave just a tiny border of white at the bottom. And then the designer series paper. And again, bring in my snips and just get rid of that little bit of excess. Oops, I moved it. Get everything lined back up and get rid of those little scraps. So yeah, I really feel like still I could come in here. What I may do is even grab my trimmer maybe cut this down to about 3 1/4. And then also cut this down a little bit more. Maybe about 1/2 inch. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm just going to go with it like this. So, you know, when you've got those scraps, work with them. See what you like, what looks good to you. I still didn't get that very straight, did I? Okay. We'll go ahead and put our inside panel. Get this one decorated. And this is a light enough piece of Designer Series paper. Oops, I forgot that I have a smaller piece of white and I need a larger border all the way around. Let's work on that. Get our nice border all the way around. Okay, so we've got the inside. And that is still not very straight, is it? I can zhuzh it and work on it in a little bit, but you get the idea of using that piece of Designer Series paper to decorate that. You could even put another stamped image there if you wanted to. So this limited edition stamp set is a great one to stamp on the back of our cards. Lots of images for that, but a couple of them I feel like are great to either go on the envelope. You could stamp this right on the envelope, or on the inside of our cards, or the outside. So that's where the hug sentiment came from as well. But I thought I'd do something a little bit different to decorate the outside of this last envelope. I took a piece of the Designer Series paper that coordinates, and I put a piece of our adhesive sheets on the back. So this has actually made this a sticker. So I put the adhesive sheet on, I ran it through with the layering circle dies, and have this cute little scalloped circle. So I am going to bring in this stamp that says hand stamped. I'm hoping you can see it. You will be able to once I stamp it. And Blackberry Bliss ink that coordinates with the papers and what I've already used on the outside of my card. We will just stamp that little image. So cute. And now I am going to be able to just peel back that adhesive sheet because it is a sticker. Well, I had it started a minute ago. And I'm going to be able to seal my envelope closed with this adorable little seal. So how cute is that? So again, I have my card with a cute inside panel and a matching envelope. So let me bring them all back in so you can see just how fun and how quick and easy we can step up our game by decorating the inside and the envelope of our projects. Now, before I go, I thought I would show you, for my cards, what I do is I put them in a clear envelope. And these are also available in my online store. And so I just slide the cards in. When I have a matching envelope, I go ahead and put the envelope in the clear envelope as well. So it takes just a little bit to get that to slide down in there. And then what I would do in this case is just put this little seal right down in the bag and then close that up. And that protects my card when it's in. I have like little shoe boxes that I keep them in until I'm ready to send them. That way it protects my cards. It keeps my envelopes and cards together, but it also keeps from rubbing any embellishments off or damaging the cards in any way. Highly recommend using these clear envelopes as you store your cards. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, and I'm again so thankful for you and that you joined me here today. I would love to have a comment from you. So if you don't mind, leave me a comment today. Let me know what you think about how we decorated the inside of our cards and our envelopes this week. And make sure that you join me next Friday for another Finding Inspiration video, because I've got some more ideas on how we're going to decorate these projects. Thanks so much.